Falcon shocks for the 2024 Toyota Tacoma include front coilover shocks and adjustable rear tow haul shocks. Begin the installation by removing the front wheels. Remove the cotter pin on the tie rod and then loosen the nut. Hit the top of the stud with a hammer until it comes loose, remove the nut and disconnect the tie rod. Remove the bolt connecting the sway bar link on the lower arm on both sides of the vehicle. Remove the nut on the lower shock mount. Detach the brake line brackets from the knuckle and the upper arm. Remove the hub nut cap. The staked part of the nut can be popped up with a screwdriver before removing the nut. When you reattach this nut, you should replace it with a new nut so that you can stake it properly. If the stub shaft is tight, use a hammer to loosen it. Remove the hardware on the top of the strut. Remove the cotter pin and loosen the nut connecting the upper arm to the knuckle. Hit the flat spot on the knuckle with a hammer until it falls loose. Support the lower arm before removing the nut and allow the knuckle to detach from the arm. Slide out the lower strut bolt and remove the strut from the vehicle. Hang the knuckle to support it. Install the Falcon top hat bracket using the provided hardware. Install the new Falcon front coilover shock so the badge faces forward. Install the top hardware. Push down on the hub and lower arm to install the lower eyelet reusing the factory hardware. Reconnect the upper arm to the knuckle and reinstall the cotter pin. Reattach the tie rod end and reinstall the cotter pin. Reinstall the hub nut. Make sure you stake it even though we don't show that here. Reinstall the brake line brackets. After the front coilover shocks have been installed on both sides of the vehicle, you can reconnect the front sway bar links. In the rear, disconnect the top end of the factory shock. Remove the bolt on the lower end and slide the shock off the post. Install the roost guard onto the new Falcon shock. Remove the top nut and top half of the bushing. Install the lower eyelet onto the post mount and install the bolt. Push down on the body and compress the shock. Insert the upper stud into the hole as the shock expands. Place the top of the bushing on and install the nut. And remember to take off the badge covers before driving.